We all have different levels of faith. Our faith also varies for different events. We may have tremendous faith in one area of our life and yet be lacking in faith in another. The disciples demonstrated this. In Luke 8:22 through 25, one day Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's go across to the other side of the lake." So they got into a boat and started out. As they sailed across, Jesus settled down for a nap. But soon a fierce storm came down on the lake. The boat was filling with water, and they were in real danger. The disciples went and woke him up, shouting, "Master, Master, we're going to drown." When Jesus woke up, he rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and suddenly the storm stopped and all was calm. Then he asked them, "Where is your faith?" The disciples were terrified and amazed, and said, "Who is this man? When he gives a command, even the wind and waves obey him." If the disciples had had enough faith to rebuke the storm would have subsided without them even having to wake up Jesus. Even though the disciples had faith that they could go around the region casting out demons and healing the sick, that particular time and place, they did not have faith to make the storm cease. There are different levels of faith at different times. Jesus' purpose was to let us know that no matter how bad the storm, God has it covered. If we have the faith of a mustard seed, we can move any mountain. Matthew 17:20 says, "You don't have enough faith," Jesus told them. "I tell you the truth, if you had faith even as small as a mustard seed, you could say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it would move. Nothing would be impossible." God is trying to help us all reach that kind of faith. God shines brightest in the darkest night. The coronavirus is destroying many people's lives. The uncertainty of what it will actually do has caused mass panic throughout the world, not just the United States. Millions of Americans are under quarantine and not allowed to go to work. It's natural to be concerned. How am I going to pay my bills when I can't even get a paycheck? Mass hoarding is occurring daily, from toilet paper to food. The federal government stepped in and is promising some form of payment to millions of Americans, but that's not necessarily enough. Jesus told us God knew how many hairs we have on our head. He told us that God is concerned with everything in the world. He referenced the sparrow, Matthew 10:29. "What is the price of 2 sparrows? 1 copper coin? But not a single sparrow can fall to the ground without your Father knowing it. So don't be afraid. You are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows." God completely understands the coronavirus. He knows our needs. He just wants us to have faith in Him that He can take care of us. That requires faith. For some, that type of faith is not difficult, and for others, it's just not there. Financial strain is unbelievable pressure. Not getting a paycheck because we're forced to stay home, either from fear that the coronavirus will spread more or fear that we will catch the coronavirus. It's all real. The bottom line is, God has this. He will provide if we would have faith. I completely understand that's difficult to grasp. It doesn't mean that you're not a Christian if you don't have that much faith, and it doesn't mean that you're a bad Christian if you don't have that much faith. What God would love from all His children is when times like this do occur, we lean on Him. He's always teaching us and trying to help us grow and become better. This is a perfect time for us to try and please God by giving this to Him.